Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric in our long-running series, the Unported Playlist, where I take a look at some of my favorite unported arcade games of all time. And today we have an absolutely hilarious one for you because Jake Terry's back from Wartran Troopers, and he is starring in Action Deka, a game that basically defies any sort of explanation whatsoever, but I will do my best. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe. That notification bell definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well, because it costs a lot of money to punch guys in the face, and that's not true, it's actually free. But this game is very weird. There's multiple modes, and we're starting off in the fighting mode, and on the arcade cabinet you would have held a motion controller in your hand and thrown different punches. You will see on screen a reticle will come up and it tells you how many times you need to hit that character before you just basically punch him 50 feet behind you, flying through the air in a ragdoll motion. You can also block as well, but honestly, so long as you don't have to avoid an attack, once that reticle comes up, you can just punch the hell out of anybody, and they're going to take their friends out with them. I love this. You just basically get an uppercut in, and multiple dudes just start flying throughout the screen. Now, it isn't just a fighting game, though. There's going to be light gun sections, and there's going to be driving sections as well. This game basically tries to jam in every single genre ever invented in one game. And you'll see that dude there is wearing a Wartran Troopers sweatshirt. This seems to be part of the same series, even though they're never going to tell you that. But I will say, and I'll show you in a bit, this game just whole copies a level from Wartran Troopers for one of its stages. Seems like they were having some budget issues or some time issues. They just decided to copy and paste a whole level from a different game in, hoping nobody would notice. And now that we're over to the light gun settings, you'll see here that you need to basically aim off screen to reload and to bring up that shield, which is also a feature in Wartran Troopers. The light gun combat is decent. It's definitely not going to win any sort of awards, and the characters that you need to shoot basically run in, they've got terrible aim, and they stand still waiting for you to shoot them. And I love when the gun section is over here. He's just going to say, we don't need our guns anymore, let's throw them away. We're in the middle of a gunfight and we just decide, you know what, throw the guns, we don't need them anymore. It's a real leave the gun, take the cannoli sort of situation. But this game just has a hilarious sense of humor. This gigantic dude comes in his overalls, and it is now time to fight him. And I will give you a chance later to listen to some of the dialogue, as it is absolutely hilarious. This isn't the best game ever, I'm not going to lie to you guys, but it has personality, it has charm, and it has a sense of humor that 100% makes it fun when you play it. Now, of course, if you see a cabinet with the motion controls, it's going to be a lot different than playing it on teknoparrot here with a mouse and keyboard. I have played this cabinet once a very long time ago at a Round 1 arcade, and it was amazing. And I love that he just throws people at you. They fly in like arrows, and you need to time that punch to take them out of the sky. And old Beefy here is going to get these glowing eyes. There is a little bit of a backstory as to what's going on here, but even if you play the game in English like I am with English voice acting, and you follow the whole thing, you're still not going to have absolutely any idea what in the hell is going on. The story is perfunctory and it basically doesn't exist, so don't worry about it. Just absolutely punch Beefy in the gut a bunch of times, and then give him that last final blow to kill him. Well, technically you don't kill him, he just falls on the ground, but it sounds good in commentary. It's just a weird game, but you know I love weird games, and you know I love rare games, and you know I love weird Konami rare games. And that means Action Deka has absolutely everything that I would want in a game, including one of the best gaming mustaches you will ever see. He just has it on lock there. But moving on to the next level, we of course have to fight Samurai, but that guy does not look like a samurai. He looks like an accountant that would be working behind a desk in a cubicle somewhere in a nondescript office building, and this dude in the black suit looks like an extra in sort of B-movie where he was playing the FBI. And that's not a criticism, it's just a basic model, but everything in this game just kind of feels so weird and so strange that you're never quite sure what to make of it. But the great part is it's hilarious fun, the controls work, and it is an intriguing game. Konami loved making games like this, whether it was the Police 911 series or mocap boxing, and Action Deka is no different whatsoever. It's kind of the evolution of their motion control formula. But I will say the game has an absolutely hilarious and fun soundtrack as well, so go ahead and listen, and I'll be right back. just such a jazzy, dramatic soundtrack there, but it absolutely does work. Now, if you take a look at the top left-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see we're now in throw mode. And on the cabinet itself, when I played it, you flick your wrist forward to go ahead and throw those. This is basically just the same configuration as the Lightgun mode, but you don't pull a trigger on the cabinet. Now, of course, in teknoparrot, the left mouse click is going to be your flick as well. So you do lose a little bit in-game, but honestly on the cabinet it was barely even a motion you need to make to throw that throwing star, so don't worry about it too much. And I love in this cutscene here, there is just a throwing star stuck out of the back of his skull, and it doesn't matter whatsoever. A little bit of a Kill Bill vibe here, definitely a budget version of it though, but it is just again such a weird and wild game, and I'm so glad that this is playable by everybody now, because trust me, I've only ever seen a cabinet for this once in real life, and Round 1 does import some straight from Japan cabinets. I went back and it was gone. I'm assuming it wasn't a very popular game. But I love that Konami is constantly playing around with weird things. They had Tsurugi on the Viper, they had mocap boxing and Police 911 there as well. They were definitely always playing around with motion controls, even before the Nintendo Wii would be a thing. So this is not out of the ordinary for them. It just might not be something that you've ever played before. But pay close attention to this sequence here. This is the one that is the most hilarious to me for all of the wrong reasons. Because one, we just beat two dudes with assault rifles in a fist fight and got their guns. Probably wouldn't happen in real life. But the most important thing is this section right here. You're going to see that we're shooting generic soldiers, and we go up around the corner and we see these stairs right here. And I immediately knew what this was from. Now this game came out in 2008 and Wartran Troopers came out in 2004. But if we go over to Wartran, a video I've already shown you guys, it is the exact same sequence. Konami just wholly copied their own game to extend the length of Action Deka and to just make a level that already existed. 75 to 80% of the third stage in Action Deka is 100% made up from Wartran Troopers. I don't think I've ever really seen that in a game before. Even Metal Slug 4, where they copied a lot of the original Metal Slug, didn't do it anywhere near as much. And it's not a bad level, it is a fun level, but I've just never seen a company just copy it that blatantly. Now the one throwaway section is the driving section. You just move the analog controller left to right, or in this instance you move your mouse left to right to try to avoid these roadblocks. That is all you need to do. Make sure you have enough life or don't run out of time, and if you fail at it you just get to continue. So it's really a no stake situation and not really a great part of the game, but I appreciate that they threw a little driving in there just for fun. But now moving on to the next boss fight. This one is absolutely hilarious, and not that this game has been realistic up until this point in time, but it just gets ever so much more unrealistic as the boss fight goes on. At the beginning it's basically easy. It's almost like a free win. Once you see that reticle you just go ahead and hit as many times as you have to, but then you start punching knives out of the air. Now I am not a combat expert, but if somebody throws a knife at you, I do not recommend you punch it out of the air. I think you might just hurt yourself. But the best part is when you actually get the boss down to that one last little tick of damage. You're going to get a little story, and it is absolutely hilarious. But go ahead and watch this here, because the audio, the dialogue, everything is absolutely amazing. And I will be right back.
That's over, Jake. You were amazing. Millie is your boss, right? I hope you take care of her.
Millie? Our boss? Millie Sperenza?
Yeah, that's right. You basically punch an entire wave of knives, and then you uppercut that knife back into the boss's chest, who tells you who your boss is, and you go back to your headquarters and fight a robotic version of yourself. That is exactly what is going on in this game. It never takes itself seriously. It is always hilarious, and that kind of feels like 300, where they almost blot the sun out with those arrows, except it's knives and it's an Action Deka. But even the final boss battle is hilarious, fun, and kitschy in its own right, because it has not one, not two, not three, but 4 independent stages of itself. And now Jake is Robot Jake, and they even managed to get that robot mustache on his face. I don't really know what's going on in this game, and I don't understand what's going on in Wartran Troopers either. They are just weird to be weird. Maybe there's some underlying story that somebody at Konami understands and knows, but I've never understood it the entire time I've played either of these games. It is just so far out there, it makes absolutely no sense. This is kind of like a robot muscle march, and if you haven't seen that video on my channel, go ahead and look it up because it's hilarious as well. But this boss fight just keeps going. It's absolutely hilarious. After you knock out Mechanical Jake twice, you get a third sequence here where he comes at you with swords, and you just block them with your forearms. It seems like the actual Jake might be as much of a machine as Machine Jake is here, because I know for a fact you cannot block a sword with your forearm and expect to have no damage done to yourself. And of course we have a Rocket Fist, because why would you not have a Rocket Fist in a game? Action Deka is just weird. There's no two ways around it. It is strange, it's absurd, and it's definitely not the best game I have ever played. But every time I play it, it makes me laugh, it makes me happy. And if you ever do see an arcade cabinet for it, 100% play it, because they are incredibly rare, and with the motion controls it makes it even better. But we got a rush hit Jake here 50 times, and that is going to take him out, and we're going to even get one last chance to get that KO uppercut in. Actually, I went with a jab there. Otherwise, Action Deka, absolutely hilarious. Go ahead and play it. Trust me, you'll love it. Leave me a comment if you have, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.